Hi, thanks for checking out this video. Today we'll be diving into a mommy update. My son just turned 15 months and there is so much that I am learning through his own development, and then also that God just shows me through that same reflection of what it's like to have a child-parent relationship with him. So if you want to hear more about that today, feel free to tune around. My name is Leslie. I am a disciple, wife, mother, and childbirth doula. This is my channel where I talk about birth, faith, and family. So today we'll be delving in on more baby stuff. Okay, we're gonna dive right in. So my son turned 15 months yesterday. So exciting. And there is just so much happening. One, he's like, basically he's gonna run soon because he just walks so fast. He gets into everything. But I think the biggest thing that I've noticed over this past month is his really proficient use of sign language. Now, I have been signing to my son since he was born. This is something that I picked up from my sister-in-law, and I've seen her do it so successfully with my nieces, and it is just something that I've also always loved sign language myself since I was a child. I have a cousin who is deaf, and I had to practice and learn so much sign language just to interact with her. And so it's always been a love of mine, and to be able to use it with my son, and now to be able to communicate with him and know that he can communicate with me, even if he doesn't have the words quite yet, has just been absolutely amazing. Now, my son knows a lot of basic sign languages. He knows how to ask for milk. He knows how to ask for food. He knows how to tell me that, Mom, you need to remember the next step of my routine. You need to remember that after this, I need to go brush my teeth, and then, he knows his whole routine, and he will sign it to me. And it is just absolutely like amazing to see that all of that communication that I've been trying to teach him, he's actually applying, and he has just been so proficient in it. I can't remember when he used his first sign. I know his first sign was milk, asking for more milk, but now he uses everything. He asks for more. He tells me when he's all done. He tells me when it's nap time. I mean, he knows so much. He even this week, I introduced a new one, which is to help, right? And help is a directional sign, like, oh, I can help you, or you can help me. It's you use it directionally, and I'm pretty sure I saw him today try to use it as in like, help me get out of here, like, help me get out of this chair. And it was wow, it was just like very surprising and very encouraging and very exciting. What I'll also notice now, what I will say is, like, all of this progress, all of this stuff that he's been learning from me and then also from his dad, has just brought me to another level of just like understanding how truly children really do what they see their parents do. Children will do what you do, not what you say. And how important it is what kind of behavior I reflect for him. And that means just even with like dealing with emotions, with big feelings, we've definitely started to see some tantrums, some crying to get what he wants, or crying when he doesn't get what he wants or something gets taken away from him. And we're still trying to navigate how exactly to do all of that. We are first-time parents, right? He is our first. And so we have been doing our due diligence in terms of researching how exactly, we have been doing this, but now it's like, okay, how are we going to apply this? What kind of parents do we want to be? What did we like about the way that we were raised, and what things do we want to do differently? And so we've just been very intentional about that. My husband is taking a fatherhood course online, and comes from like a biblical perspective. I am reading our parenting books that we've had for a long time, but just haven't found the time to read them. And so now we're like urgency, feeling the need to read them at least the chapters on toddlers. And so we are doing that. We're in the midst of all of that. But it reminds me, and God's been bringing back to my memory, is that Jesus said, I only say what I hear my Father say, and I only do what I see my Father do. And I think often, the biggest thing that God has taught me in being a parent is how he has called us to be his children. And as his children, what do we reflect? And it's really challenged me to say, am I reflecting, am I saying what I hear my Father say? Am I edifying people? Am I encouraging people? Am I speaking truth? Or am I speaking out of my own flesh, or speaking out of my own judgment, or speaking out of my own, out of my own flesh, out of my own, or am I saying what I hear my Father say? Jesus is the example of what we're to be like, right? Am I doing what my Father would do in this situation? I was in Proverbs today, Proverbs 6, and it was talking about, it was saying, these things the Lord hates, these 7 things he considers an abomination. And as I was reading them, often people read them and say, oh, okay, so you don't want to do any of these. But what I did was, as I was reading through them, I thought, okay, well, God hates these things. That means he loves the opposite, right? So God hates a proud look. So what does he like? He likes humility. That is pleasing to him, a humble, someone who is reflecting humility. He hates a lying tongue. So what does he like? He likes us to speak truth. He hates a false witness who would lie against someone. So what does he actually? He wants a truthful witness who will actually speak positively. He hates someone who does mischief, right? And so what does he love? He actually loves someone who pursues. He hates people who pursue doing mischief or doing bad. So he loves those who pursue doing good. Am I pursuing doing good? Not just saying, okay, I won't do what's bad, but actually intentionally pursuing doing what is good. And again, like Jesus, doing what my Father would do. It reminds me of, I had a friend who this past week, I'm in prayer for her this week. She stepped out and did what God would have done in a situation. She saw an assault about to happen to an older man. She saw three younger people approach this man, and this older man who could have been their grandfather, and start to assault him and start to demand things from him as if they were going to rob him. And instead of pulling out her camera, as some people would have done, or instead of looking the other way, as some people would have done, she did what Jesus would do. She stepped in and she said, hey, what are you doing? Leave that man alone. Don't. She stood in for an older, defenseless man, right? An older man who could have been her an elder. She stepped in to defend him in front of these 3 people who looked like they were antagonizing him. And she did what Jesus would have done in that situation. She did what her Father would do. And she stood up for the defenseless. And she got injured. And a lot of people, she's gotten I've seen some criticism of the situation online, saying things like she deserved that. She shouldn't have gotten involved. She should have stayed out of that. She shouldn't have been there. Personally, just another level of victim blaming, but she doesn't see herself as a victim in this. She sees herself as someone who stepped in to, I see her as someone who stepped in to do what Jesus would have done, which is to stand up for those who need to be stood up for, and to help in a situation, in a crisis. She pursued doing what was good. She didn't just turn the other cheek or not do anything bad or whatever. She pursued doing what was right in that situation. And so we're praying for her healing. We're praying for her quick recovery. And I know God is all over her and all over her situation. But I use that example to say, and it just really just challenged me, are we doing what God would do? Are we doing what we see our Father do or what we saw Jesus do in his word? are we living that way? Because as his children, naturally, as you know, as I learned from my own experience with my son, is that children do what they see their parents do. And so he uses signs, as he's seen me use signs to communicate. He lays down on uses his teddy bear, his stuffed animal as a pillow, as he sees his father do, right? He does the things that he sees his parents do. And it's beautiful when you're like, I'm intentionally teaching you, like, this is something I want you to learn, like the sign language. But he also picks up on the things that maybe you weren't trying to teach him. Maybe they were just things that you were doing that you didn't even know he was watching. But my son will pick up a phone and put it to his ear because he knows that that's what a phone is for. Or he'll pick up a device and start clicking it like this because he knows that's what you do with those devices. He doesn't know what he's doing, but that's what he sees his parents do. You know, his my husband's working from home, and so he knows that my husband's on his phone working, and he'll know that he'll just pick up my phone and start doing what he sees his father do. And so children are watching their parents either way, right? So definitely gotta watch what we do, more so than even what we say, because that's what our children will do. But also just as children ourselves, children of the Lord, are we reflecting what our Father does? Are we reflecting Him? And so that's where I'm at this month. That's been my that's where God is teaching me and growing me to do the things that please Him, to do the things that I've seen Him do, and to continue in that. And so with that, I will end this video. I hope, mamas, that you are just encouraged to stick to the things that you're teaching your child, because they are picking it up. They are like sponges. And also remember to be a sponge when it comes to your time with the Lord, and absorb everything He's teaching you, and He wants you to be learning from Him. Okay, with that, I will leave you, mamas. Have a blessed day, and thanks so much for tuning in. If you liked what I shared, feel free to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get alerted whenever I put out a new video. And until next time, God bless you, and I am praying for you. Bye.